Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is February 5th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see that powerful storm across California is spreading some moisture northward, a little bit of light rain occurring now, and some snow across some of the higher terrain. Hopefully we can pick up a few inches from that. The big story along the west coast is the atmospheric river into California. We're getting a little bit of leftovers from that storm. Then we turn our eyes to the northwest. Looks like some cooler air is going to try to make its way in here and hopefully build up a little bit of snowfall as we go through the upcoming weekend here. We'll look at those details as we go through the video this morning. Taking a look at the Doppler radar overlay, you can see some of that activity moving up across some of Oregon into the Washington Cascades here, and hopefully bringing a few inches of snow again, as I said, for some of the higher terrain. Wind advisory out there through Monday afternoon, some gusts to 50. This is for Pendleton, Oregon here, some of the Blue Mountains out there, so nothing too crazy, but just have a heads up for some gusty winds. And you can see we're not expecting big amounts out of this, but you can't see Sherman Pass 4 to 6, so hopefully this brings some meaningful snowfall to some areas. It does show Blewett Pass with 3 to 4 inches, however. Now, if we back this up, here's our storm, California storm, and it spreads some of that moisture northbound as we go on in through the day tomorrow, starts to wane, and then we bring another system out of the northwest here, and that could bring some onshore flow and potentially some meaningful snowfall, especially the Oregon Cascades, trying to get into the Washington Cascades as well a little bit here. And then as we go on in through the day Thursday, another system approaches, so hopefully that one can uptick some of the snow as we go towards the end of the week. Now, if we look at the European, let me put this into motion. You can see the few inches we get from the California storm bringing some moisture north. Then we get that northwest flow here, trying to build up some of that snowfall on the day Thursday. And then we've got another system here that approaches out of the northwest. Look at that. Might bring some meaningful snowfall to places of British Columbia, which is quite a ways below normal at the snow water equivalent across the higher terrain. But look at this. You might get a couple of feet even as we go through the end of the weekend here across portions of Oregon and trying to get into Washington a bit here as well. So cross your fingers for that. Looking at the day 1 through 3, overall winter storm impacts, again, just a few inches, just some minor impacts expected. Now, this is Seattle. Look, again, another day just a little bit above average. Look at that record low, 7, back in 1989. That's the coldest temperature I've ever experienced for the Seattle metro there. I was a youngster running around, and I can still remember it. And so far, not much precipitation to speak of, and we average about 3.9 in the month of February. We're not doing too hot as far as the snow water equivalent across a lot of Washington state, below normal for the entire state, and some areas are losing even more as we go over these days. But we can make that up here towards the end of the week, a little bit at least. I mean, we got to stop the fall, right? Oregon here, a lot of areas below average, and we were doing pretty well until that atmospheric river came in here, still above average for portions of southeast Oregon. Idaho not doing too hot also. And British Columbia, the actual latest report was at 29% of normal. Hopefully we can we can stop that free fall here as we go through the weekend. But as we look off into the extended here, kind of hunting around, and you can kind of see the northwest flow that does develop towards the end of the week here. And again, there is that chance for some snowfall. We're not looking at any kind of major Arctic air blast or any kind of huge snowmaker coming for the Cascades, but we have to take what we can get at this time of year. And as you can see, as we scroll off into the extended, no signs of any Arctic air or huge windstorms or anything like that just yet, but it does look a little bit more active at times through the extended. We might get some systems here off the coast. We'll watch that and break that down day by day. Nothing to get too crazy about yet. Now, looking at the El Nino or the ENSO, the transition. So pretty strong El Nino ongoing right now, but you can see the big decline as we go through March, April, May, June, July, and probably headed towards a moderate El Nino, a weak to moderate La Nina next year. Sorry, not El Nino. We're probably headed towards La Nina next year. That's at least what the models are saying. And this is the most recent European, actually just came out today, I believe. And you can see our downward trend is now ongoing here. El Nino is still fairly in charge there. There's a lot of warm water across the equatorial region, but you can see the downward trend as we head on towards the summertime upcoming here, likely headed towards La Nina by the time we get to fall and next winter, and that will put a smile on the faces of people who like a little bit cooler and snowier weather here across the Pacific Northwest, and we'll see what that brings. Yeah, something to look forward to, right? We're kind of dealing with a little bit of the doldrums here of El Nino, but hopefully that system out of the northwest, or the couple rounds of them here, can bring some of that snowfall back to the higher terrain. And we'll continue to break things down. Hopefully that uptrends, and hopefully we get some systems back in here as we go through the extended forecast. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap things up here. I have to work one more day today. I may be traveling down to California tomorrow. I will be doing a documentation of all the damage. I don't know if I'm going to go from the Bay Area down to Southern California off into the deserts. Depends on where I get the intel on where to go and what kind of damage is created out there. So there's a slight chance I may not do actual briefings tomorrow. I may be live streaming on the California channel and kind of documenting things out there. So we'll see how that goes. If not, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. What else? Yeah, hope for an uptrend here in the model runs. But anyway, we'll do this again either tomorrow or on Wednesday, and I will talk to you guys later.